Hello, my name is Tom Davis, and I'd like to welcome you to my model railroad room today. I'd like to start out, with a few words about the room. It is a commercial modular building that originally served as a classroom in Southern California. We bought it used, of course, had it refurbished, brought up to the property a better part of 20 years ago. And it served very, very well. Very cost effective. Came at about a third the cost of stick built. The room is 20 by 40 feet and allowed me enough room to build the layout I've always wanted to build. It is a 3-rail layout or a high rail layout, and I stuck with that because I have a pre-war collection, post-war collection. I can also run modern era stuff and some stuff that I've built over the years. It's worked out very, very well for that. One of the things that the 3-rail system allows me is signaling. The old outside 3rd rail routine wired to relays for my signal control allows all kinds of possibilities for that. So the signaling is actually pretty much prototypical. One thing I was fortunate enough to run across some discarded telephone company wire spring relays for that. So it was quite a bit of contact pileups on it. So I was good to go on the signaling. So the 3-rail system also does away with a lot of polarity problems. So that worked out very well for me. The layout can be operated conventionally or with the Lionel Cab 1L. The locomotives have all been modified, if need be, to operate on that system using some ERR components. The legacy system is more than adequate for me, the very basic stuff. I can operate not only the trains, but the switches and some of the accessories. And the locomotives themselves now are a bit of an eclectic collection of Lionel and Mike's Train House, Pecos River Brass, Sunset 3rd Rail, and an old doodlebug that my father built during World War II when you couldn't get trains. Rolling stock on the layout is predominantly kit built or scratch built with a few commercial items sewn in there. We had a lot of fun with that. Passenger cars feature full underbody details, interior details, and lighting. Kit built, scratch built. They have all been equipped with KD 805 couplers. Structures on the layout are a collection of kit built, plastic kits, laser kits. They all kind of seem to work well together. Scenery on the layout is predominantly hard shell for the mountains, and with some builder's foam and some styrofoam here and there, all of which has been layered up beginning with drywall mud, brushed on like it was heavy paint, and layered up with the textures from there. The trees on the layout are in-house. A lot of the really nice ones given to me by friends who have had to dismantle their layout for one reason or another. And some commercial items in there too. This train is a Mike's Train House, locomotive tender, and baggage. The other cars are scratch built in-house. Parts given to me by my late friend, Mr. Lou Cross. And they feature full underbody, full interiors, LED strip lighting. The tavern car is so equipped, and the observation has all the amenities that you might expect. The heavyweights behind there are all either scratch-built, kit-built, or refurbished kits that I bought on eBay. Bring them home, turn them back into a kit, put them back together again, spiffy them up. The locomotive pulling that train is a Mike's Train House AC6. Both of these locomotives have been modified to run on the Cab 1L. I have another cab forward here, the Lionel 4294, which, as we know, we can still visit up in Sacramento. Sat in the cab with that a few times. And it's probably the only locomotive on the layout that I haven't tinkered with. It came out of the box and it's just fine. Also in the yard, I parked my work train. Most of that train is scratch built or stuff I bought online, modified it, hacked it around a little bit, made it look a little different. And so actually built that up using a photograph out of a magazine of a work train that was parked in Barstow many, many, many years ago. So all in all, the scratch building and the kit refurbishments and the old new stock or the new old stock stuff work out just fine for me. This area of the layout is kind of the second incarnation of the Southern Pacific Service Facility. The first section didn't work out well. There was no access around it, so didn't have the aisle here. So that went out on the porch. This came in, and this area now features a turntable that we built in-house. I had a friend who had a wood shop who could cut a perfect circle. It features a power unit that was originally used as a TV antenna rotor motor all those years ago. So it has plenty of power to turn the engines, never a problem there. The yard here is more or less a freelance version of what it might look like in real life, designed to fit the space. And it features wash facilities, oil, sand, water, and try to keep it as complete as possible. At one time, I had a coaling tower here, but since all my trains are oil-fed, that had to go away. So what we have now is something that might have been in an SP yard all those years ago. Now, some of the structures in this corner are kind of special to me. The stamp mill up here is a 3/16 model of the standard mill in Bodie, California, that we took pictures of years and years ago, and use the photographs to scale up and make a pretty good rendition of it. Also in this area is a sun-kissed warehouse that existed years and years ago down in Piru, California. I used to pass that in my youth all those years ago. And there's some buildings further down over here. A sun-kissed building built for me by Mr. Bob Jekyll. The next building down is the Sauga Station, which has since been moved to William S. Hart Park and Newhall, and you can still visit that. And on down the line, we have a grain elevator that I scratch built from photographs from online. This area of the layout now features the maintenance facilities for the Santa Fe for both steam and diesel. The next row over will have the passenger platforms that is shared by both the Santa Fe and the Southern Pacific. Then we have a freight yard area, again shared. And beyond that, we have the Union Ice Company with the reefers parked in front of that serves in a way to kind of disguise the post in the middle of the room. I'd like to say a few words about the sugar beet cars over here. That was a mutual project between my friend Bob Jekyll, whom I lost recently, and myself. They are completely scratch built, and they feature underbody details, and they do everything but work. So we were particularly proud of those. As we come around a little bit, we have the BTS structure laser kit, which is really great to put together. I really enjoyed that. Right across the street from that is a little building called a C&M feed store. And that was my first job as a young teenager. I worked at a feed store in Newhall, California. Moving around a little bit now, we have some buildings by OGR that have been kind of worked around a little bit, make them look a little different. We have the city square, and the folks are kind of lined up waiting for the band to show up there, it looks like. And across the street, some more OGR kits. And next to that is a BTS hotel, which is also a very nice project. Okay, now this area of the layout represents the fictional town of Rock Ridge, which I named after the town in the Mel Brooks movie Blazing Saddles. It seemed to fit somehow. And this serves as a depot and a jumping off point on the upper level loop here that runs independently from the rest of the layout. This town serves the stamp mill, the standard mill on the other end of the layout that we looked at earlier on. So typically when we have guests in, I'll run this upper loop. It takes care of itself, operates its own switches, and we just kind of let it go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our visit today. I have a little bit different take on the three-rail approach. Hope you notice something maybe a little unique that you might be able to pick up on and use for yourselves. So it's been a pleasure. We've had fun doing it, and we'll see you down the road.